Have you ever reached that point where you realize that you've given everything you could to someone, only to be met with indifference? You've exhausted every ounce of love, every fiber of patience, hoping they'd see your worth, yet they didn't. You were the one who showed up, who went the extra mile, loving without conditions. You waited for them to wake up to your value. But then it happens. That pivotal moment when you make the choice to walk away. When you decide that enough is enough, something changes. You step away from the relationship, leaving them to experience life without the warmth of your presence, without the steady foundation of your support. It's in that instant, that precise moment, that they feel the crushing weight of realizing they've lost something irreplaceable. As the saying goes, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. But there's a deeper agony when someone realizes this too late. The painful, unspoken suffering when they understand that the one they took for granted is truly gone. As philosopher John Lahr put it, the saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. It comes from someone you trust deeply. This is the most painful realization. The betrayal comes not from an outsider, but from someone you allowed into your most vulnerable spaces. And when you finally choose to live for yourself, rather than begging for scraps of their attention, you're met with the cold, empty silence of your absence. Picture this. You were their lighthouse in the storm, always guiding them back to safety, no matter how chaotic the world around them seemed. But they treated you as if you were always there, replaceable, something to return to when it was convenient. But what happens when the lighthouse disappears? The sailor is lost, adrift in a sea of uncertainty, swallowed by darkness they never expected. They thought they could manage alone, only to find themselves stumbling through a darkness they never prepared for. How many times did you excuse their coldness, hoping they'd see your worth? How many moments did you sacrifice, waiting for them to appreciate the gift of your presence? Perhaps the most painful question is, how many times did you doubt your own value because they couldn't, or wouldn't, see it? As Seneca reminds us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. But even so, the pain of walking away, of choosing yourself over the illusion of their care, is raw and transformative. Choosing yourself is the bravest thing you can do. It's the moment you choose peace over pain, clarity over confusion, and dignity over desperation. At first, they may feel a false sense of freedom after you walk away. But that freedom quickly turns to isolation. They are left wondering, who will they turn to now? Who will understand them in the ways they don't even understand themselves? Eventually, in the quiet hours, when all the distractions fade, they come to the painful realization that they've been chasing shadows, living illusions. They'll see the truth. They weren't the hero of this story. They were the fool, blinded by pride and arrogance. They may try to fill the void with distractions or new faces, but deep down, they know they will never find anyone like you. The pain of understanding this becomes relentless. They begin to see that you are rare, a steadfast gem in a world of passing moments, and finding someone like you is not only unlikely, it's nearly impossible. This brings us to the 8 stages of realization they'll go through as they face the consequences of losing you. Each stage is a step closer to regret, and as they move through it, you'll stand firm, reaffirming your strength. Stage 1. Shock. They're in disbelief. The cold, sharp reality hits them, and they can't grasp that you're really gone. They'll check their phone, expecting a message, a call, anything, only to face silence. Stage 2. Denial. They create a comforting lie, telling themselves that you'll come back. They'll act as though nothing is wrong, hoping to keep the illusion alive. Stage 3. Anger. When denial fails, anger sets in. They'll lash out, accusing you of giving up too easily, rewriting the story to make themselves the victim. Stage 4. Bargaining. They'll try to make things right, reaching out with apologies or promises of change, but these gestures are built on their fear, not real transformation. Stage 5. Loneliness. As their attempts to replace you fail, they're left with an aching loneliness. No new connection can fill the void you left. Stage 6. Regret. They begin to fully grasp the gravity of their loss. The reality sets in that they are responsible for their unhappiness. Stage 7. Desperation. Desperation drives them to send grand gestures or promises, hoping to win you back. But you know that true change takes time, and their actions are just a reaction, not a genuine transformation. Stage 8. Acceptance. Finally, they accept the reality of their loss. There's no more bargaining, no more desperate attempts. They understand that you're gone for good, and with that acceptance comes the painful realization that they've lost something irreplaceable. Through all of this, remember, You are stronger for choosing yourself. By walking away, you've freed yourself from a relationship that didn't honor your worth. You've made the brave choice to prioritize your peace, clarity, and dignity. The person who once took you for granted will eventually see the truth, but it will be too late. You are free, and they are left with a quiet ache of understanding just how rare and valuable you truly were. And in that freedom, you can move forward, embracing new opportunities, new love, and a life fully rooted in your own worth.